guy I'm looking forward to the most, the guy I expect the most out of hitting wise, is George Springer.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
George Springer, historically in the playoffs, is one of the best players in the league. Chris,
What?
feels like deja vu, eh? We're back in the wild card,
Yes, sir.
and the Jays are here, and now we're doing videos on the Jays playoffs.
Playoff prediction. Well, Jay's playoff predictions. If you guys want to watch our actual postseason predictions, go check it out. Link will be in the card, probably like right up there or something. Yeah, Daniel, we're playing the Twins. I did not think we were going to be playing the Twins.
I was gonna say we were on the phone earlier talking about this, and we were saying we don't know who we want to face. It was either the Twins or the Rays, and we were both kind of 50-50 split because, like we said, we have nightmares in the Trop.
Yeah, big time.
The Twins are a good ball team.
The Twins, actually, I just saw a stat on Twitter like 5 minutes ago, have the second best record in the last like 20 games going into this. So, yeah. But also they played a bunch of AL Central teams and they suck. So
they also have a really good home record though this season.
They do. But like, the Jays have a really good road record. The Jays road stats. Like,
yeah.
Hear me out. Blue Jays 2020 splits. They're crazy. You can't tell me the Jays batting stats home and away are insane. So at home, the Jays have 84 home runs. On the road, the Jays have 103 home runs, Daniel.
Okay. I'm like where I'm hearing.
At home, the Jays scored 334 runs. Away, the Jays have scored 404 runs.
And that's including that like 20-0 blowout or whatever the heck it was against Tampa at home.
Yeah. And was that at home or was that in the Trop?
I'm 90% sure that was at home, but I will double check before I say some false.
I think that was in the Trop because Vladdy hit a nuke off a position player. Let's take a look at the pitching for this. I don't know how our pitching really goes for pitching splits. At home, we have we're a little bit better home pitching, but like the Rogers Center has played more of a pitcher's park this year, pretty much. So it's fair. That's fair. But it's not that big of a difference between our home and away splits. I've never really seen home and away splits like this besides teams like in San Francisco going to like Colorado and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't find the stat about the score, but I'm pretty sure it was at home. I thought, but anyhow,
yeah. Jays also have more wins away than at home this year.
There you go. I mean,
look at that. Yeah. We'll take it.
Going into the series, we didn't even know if the Jays were going to make the playoffs. There was a period there, Chris, where we were like biting our nails.
Yeah, dude, I was scared, man. Like after we got swept by Texas, and then we swept Boston, which was cool. Yeah. Then going into this week, we lose 2 out of 3 to the Yankees in the first 2 games. We look dead, and we lost 2 out of 3 to Tampa this series. Thank God Seattle lost. Thank you, Texas. We really
like we had to have some magic. So I'm a little like, I don't know. Like I'm happy we're in. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a little nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I think rightfully so, right? Especially after last season and how confident everyone was going in, and just the demoralizing time that was.
It was demoralizing, especially just going into coming to Toronto, having Seattle come in here and losing to them in heartbreaking fashion. That was not fun. Oh God. See, actually, I was watching. Did you watch the Seattle game yesterday, which was Saturday? Did you see?
Oh yeah, I was literally doing homework and had it on the side.
Seattle got a bloop single last night that looked very similar to what they did to us last year in like the 7th or 8th inning or whatever. I saw that. It just gave me chills. I was like, oh God, hope Seattle doesn't make it. And they didn't. So yeah, screw you, Seattle.
I was going to say like it's deja vu. I started off the video, deja vu, but now we're going to Minnesota. Now, 2 things I think are going to be really, really important here, Chris.
What?
One is the pitching matchups, because this is a very intriguing thing. Kevin Gausman, the Jays ace this year. I don't care what anyone else says. He's been the ace of the Jays, and I thought he's been no. And okay. I thought Gausman was the ace last year too.
I agree. I thought he should have started game 1.
Yeah, agreed. So Kevin Gausman, the ace. He hasn't been roughed up by many teams this year. The one team that's given him problems is the Twins.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right on that end.
We're going to the Twins. He's gonna have to pitch on the road. I'm a little scared about that. But
I am frightened
And
too.
to counter, the Twins got really good pitchers on the end. They just announced that Pablo Lopez is going to go game 1, Sonny Gray is going to go game 2.
Great
Jays
starters.
haven't announced either game yet. I'm assuming it's going to be Gosman and then either Barrios or Bassett.
You can't go wrong with either of Barrios or Bassett. Personally, just based off of the last 2 games started, which is recent performance, I'm going Bassett. And he also, but like you could go Barrios too, and Barrios carves against the Twins every time he pitched against them. So I don't know who I'd pick. Obviously Gosman. I know he's not been good against them, but you put your trust in your best guy. It's exactly what the Yankees did with Garrett Cole last week and the week before. He diced against us. You put your trust in your best guy. It's exactly what Seattle did with Luis Castillo last year, and it proved well for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think as much as I'm scared for Gosman's pitching performance on Tuesday, which by the way, 4:30 start time. What are you doing?
Yeah, I know, right?
4:38, even 4:38. Why?
Hey, at least we don't have the 1 o'clock time. I
know.
saw a picture.
I
Who's got the
appreciate
1
that.
o'clock? Who's that? Tampa? Of course, it's the Rays. Yeah, no, it's the 3 o'clock. Sorry, 3:08 they start. But weird, the NL teams. Why do they get the 7 p.m. times? I want those. They're not big markets. The only big market team that's in the wild card series is really Philly, and yeah, it makes sense that they have.
Like I understand, whatever. Not a tangent. I understand Arizona getting the late game because like Arizona, right, to watch it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Miami and Philly is more Eastern than Toronto and Minnesota.
But Philly's the big market team here, Dan.
Oh my god.
TV ratings.
I mean, it's
anyhow. If it was like the Brewers and the Marlins, they'd have the 3 o'clock time. I'm just saying. Just saying.
It's just anyhow. What was it we were talking about before this? I don't even remember.
Pitching rotations.
Oh, pitching rotation. Yes. Jays have struggled offensively this year, and
that is well known.
We're facing 2 really good pitchers.
Yeah. But we also have 2 really good pitchers, Daniel.
You are. I know. I'm just scared, man. I don't want this to happen.
I'm scared too. But on the bright side, the Jays haven't won a playoff game since 2016. What's it called? The Twins haven't won a playoff game since like the early 2000s. So one of these teams are gonna break their streak of not winning a playoff game. So like, congratulations, whoever wins a game. So we'll see what happens there. But let's get into some award predictions here for the Jays. Who's gonna be like our best pitcher? Who's gonna be like our MVP and all that? Who's going to be the Blue Jays? Like, we could do starter and then reliever Cy Young. Who's going to be the Jays starting Cy Young?
I think I'll just do overall pitcher because I think this guy is the key to the entire thing.
Yeah, who is it?
I think the key to this series is Jordan Romano pitching wise.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
Because I can see worlds where a lead, we turn it over to Romano, and stuff hits the fan. I love Romano. He's a great reliever, but he has a tendency to walk people.
Let me get your opinion on something.
Yeah.
So yesterday's game, we saw Romano come in the 8th, I believe, and then Hicks pitch in the 9th. Do you think that was a little trial and error of something?
Definitely, 100%.
You think so?
100%.
I think so as well.
Think about it. In the playoffs, everything's heightened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's nerves are up. The crowd's up. Players, everything means more. Every error is huge, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So you walking one guy every outing is huge. Like Romano, he always walks 2 guys somehow, and then pitches out of bases loaded.
He does. He's very good at doing that.
Right? You can't do that in the playoffs.
I don't want that.
In a one-run game.
Stress. You can't have that stress. Just say it's the 9th inning. Minnesota's the home team. They have 2 guys on. They're down by a run. The crowd will be bananas, and you can't have that. So yeah, I agree with you. I think
we need Romano to be lights out. If we get a lead, we need Romano to be to be lights out. It's that simple pitching wise. I don't know who you got for pitching, but
he diced that 8th inning. I'm not gonna lie, he really did. He was throwing 99. If he could do that, he's got like a whole 3 or 4 days off now because he didn't pitch today. So he's got a couple days off. He's got to come out guns a-blazing. We got the whole bullpen rested now. I know we threw Swanson and Green today, but whatever. They have a whole day's rest, so that's nothing. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Romano is the key to really the success. But honestly, I think the big one is going to be Chris Bassett if we make a longer run in the playoffs, because he's had a rough time in the playoffs recently. Last year he shit the bed for the Mets. I don't remember what he did for Oakland, but I don't think it was that good. So if he can pitch well for the Jays in the playoffs this year, that could be huge, especially considering he's the only guy on the team who's pitched over 200 innings this year. So he's like the best guy that will give you length in the postseason, which is something that you need. Even though in playoffs it does come down more to bullpens, but if we can get a guy throwing 8 innings or 7 innings, that would be huge.
It's huge. It's huge, especially in like a 7-game series, right? Or a 5
Yep.
game, or in this case, the 3-game. Like it's huge. Unless you can give the team an opportunity to get back into the game in the playoffs is better, right? Like if Bassett goes A and then we turn over Romano for the 9th, that's a pretty good game in my opinion.
100%. Now let's go over to the position players. I do want to get, before we talk about like who we think is going to perform really well or who's going to be a key, one player, do you think Cam Eden's going to be on the playoff roster to be more of a 2015 Dalton Pompey?
So I've heard, I'll talk specifically this series. Let's talk specifically this series.
Yeah.
I heard what they're going to do is they're going to go 14 batters, 12 pitchers for this 3-game series.
Because it's a shorter series, right?
Shorter series.
Yeah.
And just by doing that, I don't think Ryu will be on the roster.
No.
Just because they have other guys, really.
Kikuchi in the pen, right?
Who?
Kikuchi in the pen?
Yeah, Kikuchi's probably a pen guy.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I can definitely see them bringing Cam Eden, at least for this series, as a pinch runner, 100%.
Because we need someone who can steal a base, and he is the best shot in our organization to do that. We got rid of our Bradley Zimmers and Raimel Tapias, who coincidentally, actually, Tapias stole like 3 bags against us this weekend. So he's still out there playing for the Rays, so he'll steal some bags in the playoffs. But I want to see Cam Eden, and if he could just cause havoc on the base paths, because like, for example, Kirk gets on in the 7th or 8th inning. You're not going to have Kirk run the bases. You're going to want to put someone into pinch
running
run.
The bases, his run means nothing. It's that simple, right?
Unless it's like the first 5 innings, like 6, 7, 8, 9. You put him in. Tyler Heineman can come in to catch. Varsho can catch. I don't care. I don't want to see Kirk run the bases in important situations. But
I agree. Even and I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. Even Vlad. I love Vlad, but if it's an important run, Vlad is not the best base runner.
Vlad, Brandon Belt, Kirk. You Cam Eden, get your feet ready, dude.
There was a play on Friday I was watching. He was at second, and I don't know exactly what happened. I think they threw the ball away at first.
Okay.
And he didn't score.
Oh, really?
Like, he was standing on third, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like, that's got to be a run in the playoffs, 100%.
And that would be with Cam Eden running, or even just like Espinal as a pinch runner too, just to maybe if he replaces Vlad or something. But who are some players, Daniel, that you think will have a massive impact on the Jays, or who will need to have a massive impact for them to move on? I think Vlad's a given.
Vlad's a given, and Bo's a given. I'm not going to
besides those two. Yeah.
I think the guy I'm looking forward to the most, the guy I expect the most out of hitting wise, is George Springer.
Oh, right. I forgot about him.
George Springer, historically in the playoffs, is one of the best players I've ever seen.
He's so good.
Look at him in his time in Houston. Yes, I get it. The whole trash can thing probably played a role in it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But even last year against the Mariners, he played really well.
He did.
So
did Teoscar, actually. Teoscar's
so did Teoscar, right? But George, playoff performer, and he's been heating up in the late September, right? September Springer, they're calling him, or whatever.
September. Hey, speaking of September, we got Cavan Biggio tearing it up recently. Got to give him props. He's not one of my key guys, but I just want to shout him out because
that's okay. We always love Cavan Biggio.
We love Cavan. Hey, if Cavan's hitting like 5-stick in the playoffs, that'll be crazy.
You're going insane.
I'm gonna go nuts.
You heard on Twitter and Instagram for Chris to just be posting tons of.
Oh my god, I love.
Yeah, anyhow. But yeah, Springer's definitely one of my top guys, and the other guy I'm gonna say is Brandon Belt.
I was gonna say Belt, yeah.
Those two, they have the most playoff experience on this whole team. They've won multiple rings, both of those guys. I think. No,
Springer's got 1, but Belt's got like 3.
Belt's got 2 or 3, whatever.
He's got 2, yeah.
So those two really need to lead this team, I think. They need to lead by example, lead 1 off the field in terms of vocally in the clubhouse, and 2 as well as on the field and performance-wise.
Exactly, 100%. I couldn't say it any better. For me, I have, 1 was Springer, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to touch on Belt because you touched on Belt. One guy, I have Kirk, actually. Because if he could just hit some slapdick singles or something, like That's all we need. I don't care if he like, yeah, a single's fine. If he gets a double, great. Home run, even better. Like God, thick Jesus can run the bases when he's like jogging. But Kirk's the perfect guy to have in like the sixth spot of the lineup. You got runners on like second and third. Hopefully, no one on first for a double play. And it's a little single. That's all you need from Kirk. I want to see him do that, and I hope the lights aren't too bright for him in the playoffs. I would love Danny Jansen in that spot. He's so clutch, but can't have Danny. But the other guy for me,
I know they were trying to get Jansen back, and
I
I
don't think
think
it's
that just even more heightens Kirk's importance because I love Tyler Heidemann. Don't get me wrong; he's a good backup catcher.
perfect backup catcher. Yeah.
He's like I don't want him batting in the playoffs really, unless
So
it's like you said, we're pinch running Kirk and he's got to go in kind of thing,
yeah, like that's fine.
right? And
Another guy for me, you could say Varsho, you could say Chappie, but like they're gonna hit in the bottom of the order. Kind of want to see Davis Schneider in there
yes,
because of
yes,
the contact. I love his plate approach, and today he got 2 hits. I know he was like 0 for 34, but that doesn't matter when you get 2 hits in today's game. I want to see Davis Schneider batting in this lineup, like 5th, 6th, 7th in the order. Put him in there because he's going to see pitches. He does get a lot of really bad strike calls called against him, which kind of sucks. But I know he'll put up a good at bat on like some other dudes who are hitting lower than him in the order.
I was gonna say the Schneider at bat, yeah, he's been 0 for 34, but he makes them throw a lot of pitches.
And
And
he hit so many hard balls that just went right
exactly.
to somebody.
I was gonna say in playoffs, it's almost like when you're playing youth baseball and pitchers got a pitch limit and you got to get them out. You know what I mean? Like the more more you
Mhm.
see of them in the playoffs, the easier it is typically to hit someone.
Right.
So and
And
Schneider's up
I
there seeing 8 pitches on average or whatever the heck it is. I know it was something
yeah,
like
it's really
that.
good. I love
Um,
the home run power too. That's
yeah,
something huge
it
for the
just helps
playoffs.
everyone in this lineup. And guys like Springer, guys like Bo, guys like Vladdy are just gonna eat that up.
Oh, exactly. Like if Davis Schneider gets a double, does a little like wacha thing they do with their like arm.
Yeah.
The whole team's getting fired up. Like if Witt does that, that's the team's not going to get fired up. But if Schneider does it with a little stash, yeah, people are going to go nuts.
I'm excited for this, Chris. If you guys want to see what we think's who's gonna win this series, I think it's pretty
Mhm.
obvious. But definitely go check out our playoff predictions that Chris talked about earlier. It's somewhere in
Yep.
the top corner. I don't know which one. Other than that, we'll see you guys in round 2. Fingers crossed when the Jays make it there. Chris, you got anything else to say?
No, hit that subscribe button.
Love it. See you guys later. Goodbye.